The views and opinions expressed by participants in the following public affairs program do not necessarily reflect the position or beliefs of WDEF or its staff.
Since 1954, this is Point of View, the world record-holding public affairs program produced at the studios of WDEF-TV Chattanooga and with underwriting community support.
Thank you for joining us on this edition of Point of View. This is Vincent Ivan Phipps, your co-host. We're also joined by our other co-host, Donna Christian Lowe. We have three local experts here to talk about the fun of fishing. Let's meet our guest. First, let's meet Mr. Travis Scott, who is the Field and Streams Manager for the Tennessee Resources Wildlife Agency. We also have Philip Sparn, who is the Managing Director of Marketing, also at Cabela's. We also have Mr. Adam Connolly, who is also the fishing outfitter for Cabela's. Thank you for joining us, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well, we're obviously talking about fishing today.
Obviously, because you have me dressed this way.
Yes, we do, and you look fantastic, Donna.
Thank you.
Yes, you look wonderful.
Well, I'm going to come back and be a part of the show.
Please do.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We're talking about fishing our Chattanooga rivers and streams, so no pun intended. Let's dive right in and let's talk about fishing. Just what is so important about our area that people need to know about the fun of fishing. Travis, let's start with you.
There are a lot of different fisheries in the Chattanooga area, including trout fishing. We have some ponds and streams that we stock in the Chattanooga area that allow trout fishing. But in addition to trout, there's a lot of other species of fish in our lakes and rivers. Catfish, bass,
right.
Crappie, bluegill,
right.
Walleye. There's a large assortment.
So 843 streams, lakes, and ponds in Tennessee. You guys are stocking all of those?
Yes. We
Nice.
stock over 2 million trout a year in Tennessee waters.
Wow.
And if you keep stocking, that means we're catching them. That means we're finding them.
We're eating
We
them.
hope
We're
so.
eating them.
Yes.
We're wonderful. Okay,
Yes.
fantastic. We know that in February, that is when the fishing licenses are renewed. When you go into your stores and you're stocking all of your equipment, Philip, what are the things that you're noticing that people are wanting to look at when they're wanting to purchase equipment to go fishing?
They're just mainly just wanting to have fun. I mean, that's the biggest thing. They want to go in there, just get the basic gear.
Well, what's basic? Because for those who don't know fishing, what are some of the things you got here? What people may want to know about?
Well,
Because that $79.99 isn't real basic, right?
Yeah. No matter what type of
Okay.
fishing you need to do, there's just a few things that you need to start with. Whether you're fishing for trout, crappie, or bass, you really just need a fishing pole. You know, basic tackle. Sometimes just a fishing pole, a hook, and a bobber, and you're good.
Because the trout really don't know how good the fishing rod is, right?
Oh yeah, and so
They don't know.
No matter what
Okay.
what style or caliber of rod or reel you get or whatever type of bait, if you got a rod and a reel and a hook, you can catch some fish no matter where you go, whether it's a little pond in somebody's backyard or whether it's Chickamauga Lake down the
So
street.
you can go extreme, or you can go basic.
This is extreme? This
Well,
is normal.
This is
normal.
extreme.
It looks pretty normal.
Well, Adam, if a person who's watching our show right now, if they are a novice when it comes to fishing, they don't know about certifications or licensure, when they walk into your store and they're looking around, for the novice, what do they need to do if they need to just get started with fishing? What would you do to start them out?
Well, first I would ask them, what species are they targeting?
I
So
got
if
you.
they said, bass, then I would go and set them up with something, for bass. If they were talking about,
Is that for bass?
yes, it can
Okay.
be. Yes, this is a spinning setup. It's pretty universal. It's ultralight, so it's going to be for your smaller fish. But yeah, it's pretty much panfish, bass, trout, that sort of thing. So.
Gotcha.
Well, now I've never had somebody email me or call me and say, "Hey, let's go trout fishing." But if they do,
After this episode, that may
they
change.
might,
That
they
may
might.
change.
But as a parent, we go to the river all the time, and honestly, until this, I thought, well, you know what, we could actually be fishing. So, do you have to have all this, or can it really be basic?
Oh, it can be very basic. For kids, this right here is a very good setup or a starter rod. There you go. This right here is just your basic push button spinning.
Mom's looking at the price tag, so.
And yeah,
okay.
there is options when
Okay.
you do this, but for kids or a novice, super simple.
So 12 and up, they have to have a license. Is that correct?
13 and up.
13 and up, okay. And then adults, seniors, do they have a discount? that what
There are different price points,
Okay.
and there's of course lifetime licenses that can be purchased, and that price varies depending on age.
Sure.
But
What are some of the rules that are required if you wanted to go fish? Can I fish in my neighbor's backyard? If
No.
I
No.
just if I see a piece of property that has a great spot, do I knock on the door and ask permission? How does that work if you want to go and fish in an area that you're different to?
there's a lot of public access areas throughout the state, and especially here in Chattanooga. But there's also private, and it's great to ask permission. A lot of times landowners will give you permission.
Okay.
But there are a lot of public opportunities here locally.
Got you. Philip, when you're looking at marketing to different areas, how do you go about letting it be a family event, bringing out the kids, bringing out the wife? How do you make it a fun event instead of just I watch those TV shows, it's one person
Yes.
by themselves. How do you
And
market
dads
to make sure?
usually doing
And the
everything.
dads are doing
Yes.
it, and the kids are starving, the wife's smacking bugs. How do you make it a family affair, Philip?
Well, the most important thing, bug spray. That's
Gotcha,
that's
okay.
a good
Gotcha.
bug spray.
Honestly,
I
I
don't
think
see that
that's
here.
right.
I don't see bugs
that's a
anywhere.
good- that's
I
a
think
good-
it's in here somewhere.
That's a good first step, but other than that, you really just need to take them to a place where you know whether it's just a little bluegill or something, you know, like Chickamauga Lake, Chester Frost Park, any of the parks here on the lake. If you just take them to a good spot, get a worm or a minnow, throw it out there, let them catch some fish. That's the biggest thing, because
Gotcha.
you let them have fun. You let that little son or your daughter reel in just even if it's a little tiny bluegill, just them and the excitement of them
Yeah.
bringing
Yeah.
that in,
The
they're
experience,
hooked.
the experience.
The
So
moment
now-
they reel in a fish, they're
Yes.
hooked.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about fishing, we're talking about what to fish with, but I want to talk about cooking the fish. So it doesn't have to be this elaborate process, as my research is telling me.
I don't see any cornmeal.
Nothing.
I don't see any coleslaw.
But
Well,
can't you literally take it from the river or from the stream or the pond, wash it, clean it, and cook it on the fire and eat it? You don't have to have all the extra.
There's just a few steps, and
And what
just,
are those
just
steps?
a simple fillet knife is really your first start,
Okay.
and you really just got to clean them out. That's the first step. You just kind of clean out the innards inside, and you can scale them and throw them right in the pan and fry them up like that, or you can get an electric knife and fillet them and take the fillet off of it. But yeah, you can just scale it, throw it right on the grill, fry it up. And,
I love it.
and
I
you've
love it.
got
For
a
families
specialty, yeah.
in Chattanooga, we have focused on, you see everyone outdoors now,
Mm-hmm.
but is it really affordable? That's what I always go back to for my family. But you could actually fish, have dinner, and have an environmental
And
lesson
whole
all in
loaded
one
outing.
down at the river. So I like that.
And a soul cleansing adventure in it.
Yes.
You got you want
the
that as
biggest
well.
thing, yeah,
When you talk about cleaning the fish and scaling the fish, for the term of being a clean fisherman, if a person wants to be environmentally conscious, what do they do with the remains? What do they do with the guts? If they have the bones left over,
Yes.
what do they do after they have finished cooking and cleaning? What do they do with all that stuff?
Well, the easiest thing is throw it right back in the lake. Or
Really?
Yeah, or you could. I mean, that's bait and that's food for the catfish and all the other things.
So just toss it right back in there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
or in the woods, or just wrap it in a couple trash bags and put it in your trash. But yep, keep
So
the
I have-
raccoons away.
I
got
have
you.
to ask this name. What is a thingamabobber?
It's a strike indicator. It's
Okay.
used in fly fishing.
See, that sounds like what my wife would call it anyway.
Thingamabobber, yes, I
Thingamabobber.
think, yes.
That's what I call it. Yeah.
Yes, but it's basically just used as the same way as a float for pan fishing or anything like that. But it's used mainly for fly fishing.
Well, it's colorful. I like that.
For those that may not know, we're talking about the fun of fishing in the Chattanooga area. Everything that you see here is available at the Cabela stores or online. And if they wanted to purchase online and go to your stores, how do they contact you all?
Come on down to the store, or check us out on cabela's.com, or check us out on Facebook at Cabela's Fort Oglethorpe.
I do have one more question.
Okay.
Can we ask, how do we stock how are we stocking this?
How do you get them in there?
How do you get them in
Right.
there? I
'Cause
don't
we're
think
catching them.
You're not standing on the side of the river, right? I mean, just
Yeah, Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency operates 4 cold water facilities that raise trout, and we partner with 2 federal facilities, the Irwin National Fish Hatchery in Irwin, Tennessee, and Dale Hollow National Fish Hatchery in Salina. And we put those fish that are raised up to, say, 10, 12 inches into a truck and haul them to our destination. And we can release by net or bucket, or sometimes we have a tube that we can actually shoot the fish
so
in.
is this something the community can watch? Can we be a part of that and look
Occasionally,
at it? That's interesting.
we post videos. We have a Facebook page for Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, and
Okay.
our Tellico Hatchery has a Facebook page where there's a lot of videos of trout
Sounds
stocking.
exciting.
When you have all of this equipment and you have the different apparatus that they use for fishing, what are the things you can share about some of the safety concerns about someone that may be new there's hooks involved, there's metallic equipment, there's things that could be caught on something. How do you go about preparing yourself for the safety aspect if you're taking a kid and you don't know what you're doing? How do you make sure that fish is not only fun, but also safe?
First off, tweezers. You need a good pair of tweezers.
Oh my, that sounds horrible!
To get it out of the fish, to get the hook
Oh,
out
of the fish. I thought you meant out of the person you brought.
And out of your thumb if it happens to be in your thumb.
Well, I did think you meant the person, but I will take tweezers nonetheless.
Gotcha.
And as Donna's illustrating,
forceps.
Yep.
Okay.
And those will
Good
help
to
you be
know.
able to pull it out. And as Donna's illustrating here, a life jacket is one of the most important things.
Yeah.
If you're out on the
See,
water.
they thought it was for fashion, but
Now-
it's really for safety.
Now, with this outfit that I have on, what would be the purpose of wearing this?
Those are neoprene waders. Basically what they'd be used for is if you're getting in water that's going to be fairly cold or cold.
Gotcha. Can we get a full shot coming around?
Up to your chest.
Okay, making sure, all right. So if you were to wear this all the way up to the front, if I were to wear this, I would go into a stream.
Yes.
Correct? And I could literally go up as high as my chest and I'd still stay dry.
Up to here, yeah.
Okay.
the same
now,
for this.
what about hypothermia? If I'm warm, but it's dropping in the temperature and I don't realize it, how long could I stay submerged and still be safe?
Not too long, I would think, because this is exposed.
Well, and there's different levels of neoprene that you can get. You can get some duck hunters will wear them and they'll be in frozen water, out there all
This
morning.
feels toasty.
Yep. And that's actually not one of our thicker ones. We've got a lot thicker ones.
Okay.
Than that. Yep.
How do you transport the fish? Let's say I have a great day. I've caught 2 or 3 trout. I don't know if that's a good day or not. It'd be a good day for me if I caught 1 or 2.
That's
how
dinner.
How do you catch them? How do you take them? How do you take them home? How do you keep them fresh and safe? What's that transportation process like?
There's a krill bag that I brought.
I think it's right up here.
Yes, right here.
Okay.
These krill
And you
bags.
stock these down with ice, dry ice?
Actually, no. With these krill bags, they come lined.
So it's an inside.
Yep.
Okay.
They're lined.
Nice, yeah.
Okay.
And so this is
Line just
a
like
way.
a cooler.
Yep. Just yep.
Nice.
So you just throw the fish in there and
So don't buy fish if it doesn't mean just go to Cabela's. Gotcha.
There you go.
Okay. All right. We have about a minute and a half left, and I wanted to find out what are some of the things that people know about, that they need to know about, that may be uncommon to the fishing industry. If you want to get started, or if you're an expert in it, what are some things you want them to know about just having fun with fishing?
Just fun things to do fishing. Yeah.
Well, like I said, the biggest thing, just get them catching fish. Don't make it complicated. Don't try to catch the biggest fish. Don't try to catch as many as you can. Don't try to target, specific fish. Just get them reeling in bluegills or, catfish.
Gotcha.
That's the biggest step. And after that, the adventures happen. The kids they're excited. You're excited. You're happy. And like I said, it's a soul cleansing adventure.
Gotcha.
But other than that, I think Travis can point on looking at the guidebook, figuring out where you can fish, what types of fish you can catch, and figuring out the regulations so you don't end in a good day with a bad experience.
Thank you, Philip. In Chattanooga, Travis, where would a person need to go to get a good spot for fishing?
There's some good resources at tnwildlife.org.
Gotcha.
And we have maps and guidebooks there about the various places. Our Tennessee Fishing Guide
Yes,
has a
sir.
lot of information about the rules and regulations.
Wonderful.
And
He has on my outfit. That's great. That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
and it would give them a good starting point of what they need and where they can go.
Excellent. Wonderful. You all have been so gracious for your time. Thank you very much for coming out and educating our audience about the fun of fishing in Chattanooga.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Thank
Thank you.
Local business owners commit to inform and educate when Point of View continues.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hello, I'm Maurice Lewis, and thank you very much for joining us as we continue with this edition of Point of View. What is it like for busy people who own their own company to find time to give back and serve the community with education, entertainment, and the opportunity to just serve? Beverly Moultrie, you have your own human resources company, but you find time to do that with us here.
I do, yes. Many times I'm conducting mentoring sessions with young professionals and students around the local area.
Nikki Nicholson,
Yes.
the Romance Project. This is
Yes.
something that you started as a business owner, then I came to you after you appeared on the show. I think you've got something. How about coming back and joining us?
Absolutely. That was great. I'm glad you did.
And when I met D'Angelo, jokes, I thought to myself, now here's an exemplary young man what else is it that you do? So I found out that you do volunteerism, but you also have a military background, and you are a captain in the
Yes,
Army.
Sir. Yes, sir, that is correct. I'm still in the Army Reserve. I'm a chemical officer, but my business is Jelks Property Management. It's currently a DBA, and I just really kind of stumbled upon it, so it's been pretty great for the last 13 months.
Well, we didn't kind of stumble upon you. We found you, and we're not letting you go. But, you know, like, put your other hat on, because you're all co-hosts on this show, and you're also producers. You produce your own segments and what have you, and we thank you for that. In case you don't know, we don't get paid to do this. We do this because we can. And this is the oldest locally produced local public affairs show in the world. I think we're older than 60 Minutes. We've been around since 1954, and you guys are some of the newbies. I know you know more of what that's like, but in the Army or Navy or whatever, I'm a Navy veteran, it's the FNG, which means the fun new person. So Beverly, some of the things that you come across with in your other hat, your other life, with human resources,
Yes.
people don't always think about ways how to fulfill themselves when they're looking for a job.
Well, that is true. Oftentimes, sometimes we see it more so in younger people, but I don't think generations has nothing to do with it, like any of us. You know, everyone wants to be able to add value and really try to make sure that they're connecting, whether it's with the organization they're with or the communities that they serve. They want to make sure that their heart is in what they're doing and being able to add value. And so oftentimes I see that across the board.
Is it important for a job seeker or a job changer to say to the employer, here's the value I think I can add to your company?
I think that's...
Or organization or board.
That approach is an excellent approach. Oftentimes, or historically, we talk about what our experiences were and we only speak to the job that as it's posted. But today and for the future, companies want to know what value would this person bring to their organization? What is their bandwidth? And oftentimes when we're interviewing or we're looking for jobs, we're only looking at one segment. None of us know what else we've done in our past or what we bring to the table, so being able to speak about your value is just awesome.
Bringing something to the table after work. Nikki, this is where you come in at with the Romance Project, okay? Now, what made you start this business, and who is your clientele? Who do you cater to, and why?
Well, okay. Well, when I originally started the business, it was before it was actually a business. I was in high school, and I had all the guys always coming to me, wanting me to help them with their girlfriends or help them pursue this this other person. And I would write their love letters for them, and I'd tell them, look, you need to get this kind of candy, you need to meet them at, you know, this down the hall, I'm getting somebody come sing for you, and I would just set the whole atmosphere up. And so my love for it started then. It actually became like a reality when I realized that men needed help in the pursuit of romance.
Here we go, men need help, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Kind of needed help in the pursuit of romance.
So you're a romantic at heart.
I'm a romantic at heart, and so I said, okay, how about there's no more excuses. If I teach you, and if I help you understand that romance is fun and the benefits of romance is amazing. The benefits of romance is amazing.
Well, see, a guy, and the way guys show romantic stuff, like, hey, I took the garbage out.
Exactly.
I mowed the lawn.
That's how they show it.
Yeah, well, how do you get us out of our characteristic traits?
Well, that's why I call it a romance project. I make it a project for them. I make it to where it's almost like I Spy Private Eye. They have to do these things without their significant other knowing that they're doing it. And I'm in the background. I'm hooking it all up. They have to find out all these special things about their woman or their significant other without having the wife say, what are you up to?
Yeah, but guys don't ask, Angela, you know, we don't ask questions for the most part.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You don't, but you got to figure, you don't have to ask questions, but you can figure it out. It becomes a game.
Okay, so you're going to plan something. What are the steps?
Okay, the steps are, I ask you questions about you and your significant other. Does she like surprises? Is she not big on surprises? Things like that. And then I'll give you an example, scavenger hunt. I'll set it up. I'll have everything typed up, or I have a certain cell phone that she'll find. We'll have our whole day planned out, and we'll go step by step. And at the end of the day, either they do this together, Or at the end of the day, while he's playing golf and having a good time with his buddies, and she's on the scavenger hunt, she meets him at whatever place. May it be home, a restaurant, the hotel room, wherever you have it.
Okay. Wow.
That's where it's going to be. And picnic under the stars, whatever you want, just about.
Well, you know, the response from a lot of guys in the audience, if I do this, the first thing she's going to want to know is, what have I done wrong?
Oh my goodness, yeah, you got to
We have all kind of packages for if you've done it wrong, like get me out the doghouse.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
We have that package as well, so.
That is a package.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're going to pay for that one. But
Well, you know, these kind of things are very good to know because, like, men, we don't think about a lot of stuff. We tend to, you know, like, for simple, feed me, I'm hungry, you know, I want to watch the game. And thinking about how to, when the wife is happy, the house is happy, and a lot of good things can happen.
That's
Well, what
right.
about-
You know a little
Amen
about
to
it.
that.
What about for the women? I mean, oftentimes there's women that may need help.
And it is. There are women that need help, and I coach them. Sometimes they're just not exactly sure, because sometimes men are kind of hard to figure out as well. You know, like you said, it's a lot of times just let me watch my sports, feed me, you know, and scratch my head, you know, something like that. But we have to find ways to make it compatible for both of them. So.
Well, D'Angelo, you had the experience as I have, but not in the same situation. You are a combat veteran,
Yes.
And so you've earned your Bronze Star the hard way. But traveling overseas and missing people at home, how did you handle that?
Wow. I had to put myself in a mindset that I probably wasn't going to come home. And I know if my mother's watching this, she's going to hate to hear it. We've kind of had that conversation before, but I knew as a leader, it was important for me to not be thinking about missing my kids or wanting to see my mother or my father again, but to be prepared to do whatever was necessary to lead my soldiers. And so I kind of put all of them and everything in a box. And I left it in that box. And to be honest, it was kind of difficult to open and extract everything from that box when I came home. So.
And you know, a lot of people who have not had combat experience, when we all joined the military, all of us, when we raised our hand, no matter what our job was, even if it was a clerk typist or whatever, your basic job is a rifleman. I don't care what branch of service, you can be an Air Force pilot, you're a rifleman.
Exactly.
And so part of what we do on this show is each one of us, like you in the military, each one of us knows how to do everybody else's job. Everybody here needs to know how to do my job. So what you're bringing to the show here with us is the military discipline and also your management skills. I mean, as a captain in the Army, I mean, you've learned some command skills.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, I was an E3, and a captain is so far above what my pay grade is. And I actually get a chance to give him an order or two. I'm not going to rub it in, okay, but I want to get back. So just listening to what Nikki has said here, have you picked up a romance trick that you might use or a romance technique that you might want to do with your wife?
Oh, sir, you're lucky we were sitting here, because I was going to pull out the pad, start taking some notes, right? But no, I like the scavenger hunt idea. I may have to call you about that, but I'm afraid, because if she sees it, she's going to be like, so did you come up with this? Or did she hook this whole thing up?
It doesn't matter. The thought of you wanting her to have it,
it don't matter.
I'll make it so nice, she'll love you even more for it. So I'll hook you up.
And it can be the scavenger hunt, or it can be something else also,
It can
too,
be
right?
so many other things, you know. And just because packages, trust me, I won't put all my secrets out there for the guys, you know. I'll keep you guys safe. But we'll work some things out. And they're always happy. And again, the benefits are awesome. You'll want to do it again.
And you know, we have such a wonderful growing family, a team here on Point of View. You're not seeing everybody today. We have like 3 or 4 other people that are not here. Ruth is away on assignment, Nyara's on assignment, Mark West is not here, and we have one or two new people that will be joining us very soon. But Beverly, from the kind of people that you've been able to switch gears from, you know, being an HR person and now you're interviewing people here live on television. What's that been like for you?
In some ways, it's been terrifying. I would liken it to interviewing for a job for the first time.
Okay.
But no, it has been very rewarding. There's a lot of crossover between what I do as an HR professional as well as interviewing people here. It's all about talking and connecting with people. So from that standpoint, I think it has been a strong connection.
What's it been like for you, Nikki?
Again, at times terrifying, but at the same time, it's actually showed me what I'm made of and what I can achieve and do. So I love it because every time I come, it shows me more strength that I didn't know I had, or I'm just learning. So it's been great.
So as far as myself, I haven't actually hosted an episode. I did do some training with Vincent Ivan Phipps. He's spent some wonderful time with us, just kind of making sure we were prepared. So I feel ready for when it's my opportunity.
Well, you know the rules. When you come into the studio, always be dressed to go on the air because you never know. Someone might not be able to make it. One of the reasons why we have you guys in, and it's because when I started in this business, I would ask, well, why are there no people of color? And they said, well, we would hire some if we could find some. Wow. I said, just wait a minute. We're going to go out, we're going to find some, we're going to train them and bring them back. So, you know, what our motto is, each one here, bring one, each one here, teach one. So as you join us as we continue on with Point of View, you'll be seeing all of these participants and others as we work with young people, white, black, Asian, whatever, members of our community as we help them along with their journey into communications. We want to thank each and every one of you for being part of the show today and for being the wonderful volunteers that you are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now, on the next Point of View, we'll be talking about local politicians who are hunting for a new seat. They want to move up. We want them out, but they want to move up. We'll have that and more on the next Point of View.
Closed captioning provided by the following.
Funding for this program is brought to you by Barnett & Company, specializing in tax-efficient strategies for the preservation and distribution of family wealth, offering continuous investment management with a focus on long-term strategies. Areas of service include investment, estate, education, and retirement planning. Barnett & Company, the power of compound returns over time. More information can be found on the web at barnettandcompany.com.